evil spreading far and wide. Never since the creation of Adam and Eve have there been such time as we are witnessing today, the worst yet to come. There is no peace amongst the nation of earth. The only few people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God, though they are persecuted from city to city, falsely accused it, and denied it the credit due them because of their righteousness and the malice of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for the righteous sake, but the evil doers of the world. You see, God is despised it and rejected. Evil is accepted and honored. Justice stands afar off. Equity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. The Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide, in the day of God's presence, at the end of the satanic world, to bring it to nothing. Allah God caused the evil world to be upset, since they have been enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who would have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy the prophets. But they reject all Jesus charged them with, being the murderers of the righteous, from Abel to Zachariah. We can very well add more and say from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet, but actually she is not. For Christian means to be Christianized to one spiritually. That one refers to the Christ. Christ means the one who is coming at the end of the world, of the wicked, as a crusher. His name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the right race who have disgusted themselves to deceive the black man to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They are set up ahead for the religion of Rome. Italy, the Pope, the Father represent himself as being intercessor, meaning one who is second only to Christ or God, intercede for the people, sins, and recognition of God, but he has no divine backing. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great of Islam, Allah, in person. These are the days of God or Christ's presence to destroy this evil world with all deceptions that the people should again labor under. A wicked ruler, the devil. The presence of Allah has upset the devil who had and exercised total control over the world under falsehood and had made evil to appear fair seemingly. The so-called Christian world had never before displayed such madness as they do today, since they cannot hide their real wickedness and deceitful ways. They are angry, according to the preaching and teaching of Christianity. They prophesied that they alone will be the happy group that will welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ. But the Bible condemned them that they again was angry and sought to hide their faith from him, God. It should be clear to you today that the Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Islam. The Christian hate the very name of God, such as Muhammad, which are attributes of God. The Jesus prophesied that they will hate you for his God's namesake, for having one of his names. Because the name of God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. To the coming of just one, make manifest to you this evil race of sinners and it will be against this God's presence, be angry because of him, who will seek to destroy him and his messengers, as it is prophesied, Second Psalm chapter 2, verse 4. He will sit in the heaven, and he shall laugh. He will have them in their humiliation. This is true. We see every nation have a term, and every nation have a term. So when a term comes, they cannot remain behind the least while, nor can they preside. We see this Holy Quran, Surah 7:34. There was a term for the people of Noah, Locks, and Moses. This also holds truth in the life and death of individuals. All is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending have been appointed for the accomplishments, the sustained work that must be done by the life of people. The above chapter and verses of the Holy Quran is warning to the present nation, whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us, what is written by the prophet for us, to read and study and ponder over, and if we understand, we must not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. The trouble with this black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth. For he was reared by the slave foster parents, who is his enemy, the right race. It caused him to become heedless. It was the intention, enemy, to make the black man enemy to the truth as himself was and is. This the enemy was successful in doing. For the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb. In many instances, as dead. This is the work of the enemy. This is the work of the devil, to deceive you, to take your future away, to make it like you don't have a future. So he make you have a bid. That's what Satan do. You do his bidding. Once you do his bidding, that's it. He set you up, as you see. He set up brothers against brothers. Then he killed both of them. This is your trouble you have today, right here in America. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and to restore us to life mentally. You see, it took God to come. It took a Savior to come to restore you mentally. It took Jesus to come to restore you mentally. It took that woman Mary with that newborn baby, as it says, Revelation chapter 12, verse 4, that he came to be amongst his people, in the presence of God's people. But ever since you see today, 8,000 years of the devil that been here on this planet was trying to prevent that progress from even happening. So therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us, to restore us to life mentally. The children of our father's slave master who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since Allah has come, and since 100 years have elapsed it from the time of their slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated more in method to keep the black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. We see in the days of servitude slavery, our grandparents, see, the white slave masters did not even give them good food. We see today you can buy good food if you have the money. However, much of it is poisoned by chemical use. The slave master offered a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to a so-called nickel as an introducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all the other slaves on Sunday morning. The slave did not have the theologically of the scriptures, and he had made His other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. The same goes for the preachers of today, as you can see. We see they preach for reward for both whites and blacks. I have tried them for many years. See, they are as their fathers were, desire the exploitation of this white man. You see, they want him to give them better positions, and they will offer to cut off their black brothers if it would please their masters. You see, although I live in their neighborhood, the white neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in their neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. You see, white people do not like you to come to their neighborhoods, jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you come into their blocks, beating your wife or girlfriends and drinking in front of their house. No decent, intelligent person like this, where he is white as snow or black as the ace of spade. You can go to the jungles and you will not want this. You see, late at night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. He and a gang of policemen will come out and beat you up. That's what that means. The American so-called Negro had been made out of himself and kind by the white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant actions because he has become a part of ignorancy. Now, the end of the term which was set forth, the right man have come. We see the average so-called Negro, the law-found members of the black nation does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man, his rule over the black nation. He will not listen to one of his kind who tell or teaches him of the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high position and money to the so-called Negro intellectual politician who will work against the good of the black American people. They will accept such, for they have been deprived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the men who are splundering the mud of civilization? They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and the fried chicken, as their slave fathers did. You will not think that they will hire themselves out to be stew pigeons, white man bootlickers, and Uncle Toms in these modern times of advanced education, but they are doing just that. They do not want the praise from God and their own black people. The slave master children will give it to them as long as they reject themselves in kind and worship and exalt the white people. The white man is very clever in making a public fool of the black man. They show the brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America and throughout the earth. He is doing what nature bid him to do. The white man makes a fool out of this black man, where it gets so humiliating that you see the red and yellow and brown man sitting there laughing as he's making a mockery of us. He's making a fool of you. Anytime, my brothers and sisters, when America, designers, we see manufacturers, they have, can dress the woman up in about 1/3 of her dress and turn her out. When you see nudity is originated from the right race, when they can use you as a tool, as an object to his succumb. See, they dress the hearts of our people as though it's serious. Peace, peace, they say. When there's no peace, peacemakers, most, they are like peace breakers, you see. There's no peace in them. Even if they try, it's not in their nature to make peace with you. I do not blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. It is the nature of the white man to make a fool of our people. But it is not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. But when you have been given the knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, you still allow the enemy to make a fool of you, and you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous, not the knowledge. When you are very special today from the Lord of creation, He's making a fool of you. He's making a mockery of you. He's backbiting you. See, you are a very special of the Lord of creation. Ever since 8,000 years on this planet, the devil been ruling. Ever since you've been here. And we are quick to run into this White House. When we look for justice, we get injustice. All day long, our people are crying night and day, shouting. You see, we need a savior. And this is why God comes, to straighten out this crookedness. You see. But today, brothers and sisters, we are all wrapped up in the people He came to destroy. Some of you today want to integrate with the enemy. Some of you want to befriend your murderers. So if God today send down His judgment on the enemy that you are in love with, most of you start saying, well, no, God, I can't go with you unless I can bring the enemy with me. Yes, this is you. Some of you will say, to hell with you, God. I know that there's some good white people. And then you start making yourself busy trying to find someone good that you can tell your God to your wrong God. And especially when we see a divine term has come to white America. See, the divine term that was given to the right race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is now what? The devil with his tricks must be removed. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trickology, and therefore God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written in the Holy Quran, chapter 7. But God promised hellfire to both the devil and his followers, whom he can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, at the knowledge of the devil, his tricks, his term, should not blame anyone but ourselves if we allow the devil to trick us. For that is the job of the devil. It is his nature. We blame ourselves and not the enemies. You lust for his have new women and thirst for whiskey and beer. You desire gambling, robbing, killing each other for the personal property of others. This is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. Do not blame them. Blame your foolish self. It have always been a policy of the white man to use a black man against a black man, especially leaders. Look at history. See how he had to deceive and kill off the black leaders of foreign land, and then they took over themselves. This should be a lesson for you and me. We the Muslims have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stool pigeons for white folks. When they have become converted to the truth and join us, they confess that they are ashamed that they have worked against us for the sake of a few perishable dollars. We know that the white man is our enemy. And whatever we are, he offers some silly so-called nickel, a high office, and higher pay to work against us Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called Negro, whether he be a Baptist, Methodist, Holy Roller, a sanctified, some lazy so-called Negro. will work against him for the white man. It is a shame in such modern time to see black politicians and preachers stepping position to work against their own black people for a few dollars from a race whose time have come to end. We are justified in taking it. If the white man give us $1 billion or $100 billion, we deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our life for such a gift in this day and time. Declare yourself a Muslim and see how much the devil will give you. He will say we will give it to you if you preach that we are not devils. We will answer that it's just the same as saying, if you do not teach the truth of me, so that I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Remember what the Bible teaches us, that Satan said to Jesus, all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. Matthew 4:9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. Perhaps you will be off of the world, of this wicked world, pretty soon. If so, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his own life soul? This is a warning to the preachers. The little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aim and purpose of the resurrection of the dead, lost, found members of the nation. You will lose your life. For so doing, you should, for you cause innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself and the enemies. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. The Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost, and to restore it again, that which hath gone astray. He has said to me that he will eat the rattlesnake to save our lives, and that he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach just one, in order to save his life in exchange for our safety. Turn to our own, and taking him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same, regardless of the offer of money, which is fast becoming worthless. Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. Satan places behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in hell, and to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible Revelation, it is written that you accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him. Read the fallen passages of your Bible, withdraw on the time of yourself. America. We see that America, white people are more concerned about mistreating the black one slave of America than America is concerned with any nation on earth that's attacking our outlying posts. Our enemy are intensifying attack on her. America right out of the frying pan into the fire all over the earth due to her evil intention against her loyal black one slave. Her talk of evil doing against the black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that are trying to attack and destroy her country. We see white America have more hatred for the black one slave and her millers who are faithfully fighting on the frying line to help her against her enemies than she against the enemies that they are shooting down. See, white America talk of building concentration camps, prison house for the black one slave, the black man in America. I'm told that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. Concentration camps are jailhouse, prison house. This is why I cry day and night to my black brothers and sisters to seek refuge in Allah, God, in such a time as this. The Muslims do not have to worry about any such imprisonment, for the Muslim is already a citizen of the nation of Islam, and we have our own people, Muslims, to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah, God, in his names, and get out of the names of the white slave masters who does not seek to bring about peace for us. The enemy seeks to bring about our death. Why America wants her black one slave to suffer that which is not due to the black one slave. The black one slave had not sinned, nor has the black one slave attacked other nation, except under the orders of his white slave masters. Independent Day. Who independency? Since 1776, you black men have been worshiping the 4th of July along with the real authors of the 4th of July, the white man as a day of independence for himself. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing over achieving this country of independence from any other foraging source. Now, the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the Independence Day, an American white man that wrote the Declaration of Independence for themselves. See, this white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefits of the black man, who was the servitude slave of the white man at that time. The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and the day which the white man had set aside for celebration. That is all the black slave was rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now, and you do not need this for an excuse for you worshiping the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the gain of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on the same day of the 4th of July at the coming of Allah. It came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. July 4th, 1930, the significance of his coming to us on the Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is the day of a great rejoicing, as with former people and their governments. The destruction took place when it was at the heights of their rejoicing. The kings, according to the Bible history of him, see Daniel chapter 4, was walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skills of the work he had set up, and says, has not all this my hands have made? We see the Bible teach us that while the word was in his mouth, the end came. Allah God changed his mind and heart from that of a civilized man to a mind and heart of a beast. He had the brain reaction of a wild beast. He was cast out amongst the dung. What does that signify? It gives us a gleaming into the history of the white man and his being cast out of society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago, after he was made and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. Trouble caused the white man in his exile into a hill and cave size of West Asia, as Europe was called at that time. So Allah God taught me. A name was changed to Europe after the white man was cast into that area. We see Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of the society of the righteous. Moses made the white man as an independent race through the guidance which Allah God gave Moses to guide this white man out of his savage cage life and put him on a road of conquest of the black man. For 400 years, the white man swallowed us, the black man of America. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set it bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what this white man was teaching our black slave fathers. This caged us in and made just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put this white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is a day of rejoicing of the white man over his opponents for the Western hemisphere. He wrote his constitution for his own white people and not for the black slave, since this is his day which he has set aside for himself. And what part, black brothers and sisters, do you have in this day? And part is not mixed with his part in a way of his own white politics and physical independence. But as I call your attention to the proud king history and what happened to him at the heights of his kingdom, we see Allah God never destroy a powerful people, nor deprive them of self-independence when they was in trouble or when they was sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they would live forever. So it was with the coming of God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on his coming to us on the 4th of July, 1930, his presidency meant the destruction of the independence of the white race, especially America, over the black man. Allah God visits the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom himself. Since America, her time has come. Since Allah God came for this purpose of bringing self-independency to the black slave, then he is going forth is with justice we see the Revelation 19, verse 11, to show Allah God's greatness and power over their slave master and his people. Now Allah God attacks them at the heights of their civilization and at the greatness of their power and strength on the 4th of July, while they worship their greatness and their accomplishments. And the black slave is sitting at his feet, as it was with the kings and as it was with Pharaoh. The same is being repeated today. This is Allah God coming on the 4th of July. For 400 years, we have been suffering under the pledge of servitude slavery and at the relentless hands of the white slave master over us. Allah God came to give justice and freedom to us and to make us equal members in society, renew powerful, strong, and wise people of the earth. Ever since that day, we see the 4th of July 1930 had meant the doom of American domination over the black man of America and the black people of the earth. Ever since that day, America has been falling. America's fall is now going on. America refused to break her fall when she could have broken her fall, as the Bible teaches. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not. Jeremiah 51, verse 9. She did not do anything to want such forgiveness. America had been offered a chance for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it. For she never offered to do anything favorable towards her black slave that will make them free of her powers to rule them. Black slaves went to their death fighting the enemy of the white slave master to help America to maintain her independence against foreign dominancy. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for his sacrifice. When a dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master will sometimes share a part of the gain with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome and to put other people under the control of his white slave master. See, the black slave have fought and died around the earth to help this white slave master to conquer those whom the master called his enemies. We helped the white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippines and other places around there, and also Japan. How many lives did the black man lose in the Pacific while helping this white man to conquer people of Japan, who are the brown half brothers of the black man? The brown race and the yellow race are the half brothers of the black man. Who independency? Now the white man and the black man are both free on this day. The coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. The clear significance of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere this white man may be, even in Europe, see, the earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on the 4th of July and the coming of Allah, who came in the person of Master Allah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. And give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independence he brought to us and the freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the red Indians nor any original settler. Justice and righteousness are used by Allah, God. Independency. Independency means to be free of the dominancy of others. It is a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. The right race in the Western Hemisphere takes this day, July 4, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of the achievement from independency from other people. The white race in the Western had to conquer the Indians who had the independent claim on a country now called America. Then the white race in America cut off the ties of England and France and became the independent holder of the present country called America and the Western Hemisphere. So we see in this Western Hemisphere, The white race was not satisfied with owning a new country to itself. They wanted the country built up, but the white man was afraid to trust himself to build the country up. So he goes to other countries that was uncivilized, and uncivilized Africa. Africa, he took our people as slaves and used us for hard labor purpose. Now the white race have achieved those desires, and now we have the glorious things that man can enjoy: freedom. The country of America cannot be said to be the white man's own, but having the freedom and power to overcome the native Indians of this country, the white race in America takes this day, July 4th, to celebrate the joy of independency of others. As thou hast done, so shall it be done to you. Someone's about to take away your joy of independency. The white race here in America have done the worst to the black people who helped the white man to build up the country of America and to make it suitable and to bring this joyable independency. But the white race in America have angered God due to the evil done to us after 400 years here under the white race. The white race still desire to mistreat and to kill us all day long. The white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating the white man for mistreating the black slave. But the white man make the black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreated him, the black slave would not dislike the white man for mistreating him. Now the time of God has arrived, the time that Allah God must separate the black slave and his white slave master and bring freedom to the black slave. So we see the power of our enemy being broken by God and destroying the power of the white man's power to maintain his sway over the whole world. Independency is fine if we can keep and maintain independency, but there is a dark cloud of trouble now spraying in over the country of America. The dark cloud makes her once freedom of thought in action become instead a freedom of death, hell, and destruction. It is awful to think over the things of evil and the trouble that are now coming upon the glorified North America. The poor black slave number now into tens of millions of black people never knew anything of the joy of freedom because this victorious enemy, like a young lion as Daniel give it in the Bible, has made the black slave a prey to all of this white man wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that the white man is enjoying freedom over us and celebrate this white man's independency? We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. The only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship and are able to call a day our day of freedom is when we are free from white America and free from any other nation, become independency with some of this earth that we can call home. Then we can say that this is a freedom day and holiday for us. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try to go from that, what binds us to others. Slavery in Alabama and Mississippi. We see this white man trichology is always being trumpeted to the world that they are peace lovers, as though they want all people as they falsely claim to be free and to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and 30 million black people in America who was a servitude slave 100 years ago. Now for 100 years, the slave master children falsely claim that we are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people. It have come to me that in the states of Alabama and the country of Alabama, there are big plantations owned by white people and a stately White House set up on hills, and slaves live in the surrounding stocks. These black people work hard for very small pay. It is said by some that the salary range from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. You see, rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. This kind of slave labor goes on through generations. We see one generation after another is subject to this slave way of life and what is called a free world. In order to keep these black people in this type of slavery, the owner had mounted a guard patrolling the plantation with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse to see that there is no black interference from the outside to entice the enslaved black on the inside of his plantation to come in the barrier area for better wages. These people grow up there and they die there on the plantation. See, some of them never knew civilization. They are sci-fi because they know none of life but the slave life that the fathers and grandfathers have been living under. We hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country I'm bound, but in other states as Mississippi and Georgia. A year ago, I was a young man in Georgia. I heard that such slavery on our plantation was going on in a certain area in Georgia. Our people would go to the farm there, and a poor man probably owns another white farmer, and this white farmer pays the debit that he owns the other white farmer. And then the black man becomes slave the balance of his in his family life on the plantation of the white man who pays the debit to a previous white plantation owner. As long as he lived, he never pays that debit. See, this is the worst injustice and the most cruel slavery of all. They are shot and killed or beaten to death if they are found trying to leave the plantation. The white owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear of being informers of what is said and planned for other blacks. It had been told to me in my younger life that certain rivers, lakes, and wilderness like place carrying the bones and skulls of many black slaves from these plantations, the so-called freedom time, in the age of abolished slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states where Miss George Wallace was running for president, he could make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. These black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office or even an old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. The black people in the South have been brought up for many years, for centuries, to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among the free people. These black people become the most ignorant and the most terrifying people of whites that they are in the country of America. And the white man knows this. He gets rich, he builds himself a fine, luxurious home on a plantation. And as far as he can see, he claims that the land is his. And the poor slaves are living in the worst stocks. When the rain comes, some of them have to go to the walls of the house with piles to catch the rain, coming through the almost open roofs. When winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces trying to keep warm. These are the worst living conditions we see today of human beings that could even be in the jungle of Africa where they do not have sawmills or bricks, kins to saw timbers into limbers, the mold bricks. You see, America have everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home and cold home and to give her slave a good living wage because our father for 400 years have already supplied the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary a life. It is pitiful to go into these southern areas out in a ritual district and see how after 400 years this wicked sunburnt, killed-nosed, tobacco-juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery condition, see crushing them to death and diseasing them. Children are coming up suffering from malnutrition. Fevers and other diseases capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to the hole in the ground in the South without anything like honor of their death. They are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. The black man of America is so mistreated by his 400-year-old slave master and the slave master children that you just cannot describe any mistreatment of human being to equal the evil and ill treatment that the black men have and still suffer in America today. In many towns and cities of the southern states and even their capitals, you will find this black man living in a bad condition. His toilet is sometimes an open, boarded up place stinking right there in the city, diseasing the citizen. Because of that evil demon, the white man wants to give all the ill he can to a people who have served him as slaves for 400 years. This is going on in the South. Go see it for yourself. The U.S. malls come into these towns and cities. In some place, the black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their milk. Then they are treated like dogs, and as though the white devil are giving him something free, while the center of the mill have paid the tax for the postal carriers to bring it to the other doors. Little black children are walking around with sore pus running out of them for the lack of medical attention. Little black children are dying of disease right in this false freedom of this old USA. The black people are cowered down by this victorious enemy who keeps his gun loaded to blow them down. And every happy, one-sided, grinded mouth policeman or sheriff is seeking just the slightest chance to kill a Negro. You only have to say to his brother devil judge that he had to kill a Negro. And the judge look at him and give him a smile and a hand clap as though he did not kill enough. You are to kill all of them. And I've heard from their mouth when I lived in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South, and the white people should kill off some of them. There are more Negro than whites, and a white man should kill off some of these Negroes. See, what chance does this black man have under the shadow of this American government for freedom, justice, and equality? I thank Allah God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who have come to deliver the black man in America and to kill our oppressors. This is very good. We should be shouting day and night that a deliverer has come. The revelation of the Bible has given this people the right name, a beast. And the most vigorous description does this revelation gives. In Daniel of the Bible, this people is described as a beast rising up out of the sea with three ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America with the black slaves struggled for 3 centuries. The power of our enemies, the devils. The black man of the South will be a fool to vote for any white man of the South to rule him. You should stay away from the poll, because the white man for whom he vote is the enemy of his. He's bound to tighten his shackles tighter than ever. They preach are enforcing law, and that law is unjust law directed against the black man. See, vote for Allah and for his servants Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to whom our praise are due forever. Of the Bible, what he will do and freeing this black man of America will be fulfilled. Let us submit to him and live in peace with money and good home, with the friendship of God and the righteous. There is nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. It is useless for us to fear our enemies after the coming presence of our God, who have power over the very atom of life. For it's fear of the white man that will cause our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man if they do not recognize the fact that it's God whom they should fear, and not the devil. The world of the white man is now crumbling and coming to nothing. The safety of the black man is his God. As the Holy Quran teach us in this day and time, seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He is the only place of refuge. We have made America one of the richest, strongest people on earth. Our mighty navies commanding the high seas, with her undersea cliff crawling on the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities other than America, and with listening device set up throughout the earth, on land, sea, and the air, and to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing she is guilty, deserving death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She had prepared to put up a mighty battle. But Allah too had prepared, and he is the best prepared, knowing they thought before they was ever made. They have not the slightest chance today against the power of God that is working against them, even through the force of nature. The white race had been disgracing the entire black nation of the earth after it suffered under the same wicked powers of this white race and having an awful time of trying to rid herself of such a demon. She would do so, and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make himself known with both the punishment and the destruction of this mighty, powerful, rich people. Fear not, my dear black people, for we have Allah with us. He is a mighty, a strong, and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I'll lead you to your starvation. Alabama. According to the article we see in November 25th, 1969 issue of the Wall Street Journal, written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, staff reporter, according to reports of our farmer. The Muslim property and life are being attacked by a devil, Miss James H. Bishop, called himself a missionary. He had started attacking us for a fight. The Muslim had lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshot penetrated by some coward, according to reports of Mr. Neil Maxwell. This demon, Miss James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and American people into a war with Allah, God, and the righteous, which will be the end of America and her people. We, the Muslims, are a people of peace and have and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. And of course, this demon, Miss James H. Bishop, proved himself to be just what he is made to be, a mischief maker. As Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, has taught me that he is. I will warn this troublemaker that he is playing with fire, and very hot fire, for he is not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, for he welcomes the attack. But this is what he came for. As sure as Allah God live, we will convert every black man in America to his or own. And this includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama. Went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen in Alabama, and then some white enemy appears, called himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Miss Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get started on the farm. At that time, he says nothing to us in a way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farms? See, we hired him and paid him for his work. And there is no talk from him in the manner in which he is talking now. So this man has now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. He even goes so far now to talk of killing us and is asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds, and he is speaking in the direction of even destroying our property and cattle, even make it hard for us to buy gasoline. The most ignorant and worst thing that the gas attendants sell us the gasoline, and then we are arrested and charged with a crime for buying the gasoline instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It is very ignorant and silly. We have brought land and cattle in Alabama, and we mean to get the profit out of what we brought. If the government of Alabama intends to drive us out from our properties, they would have to buy us out, not drive us out. If the government of Alabama is in agreement with this white people of Alabama and what they are doing against the Muslims, and I want to say to the whole white America that we have Allah God on our side to retaliate against anyone who mistreat us. We did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. We are Muslims and a brother of Muslims. If we are not accepted by our brother Muslims, we must certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam, Allah, whose proper name is Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. He came to us without observation, as it is written of him. However, he makes his work manifest. The nation of Islam idea again is to build better countries, homes for the black people. I said to the whole American white people that you can never win against anyone outside or inside of America as long as you seek to mistreat us. As it is written in the Bible, he who contains with us, Allah God will contain with him and give them their blood to drink like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah God. We made no trouble with anyone, but Allah will retaliate against anyone who made trouble for us, who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar, the strongholds of this American government is falling to pieces. She had lost amongst the nations of the earth. One of the greatest power of America was her dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness, for this is the media of exchange between nations. The English pound and American dollar have been the power of the backing light of these two great powers. But when the war went on, the gold and silver standards The financial doom of America and England was sealed in. The pound had lost 50% of its value. You see, America dollar had lost everything now. Its power back in our currency, which was once backed by gold. From every $5 note and up, all of our currency was backed by silver. From a dollar note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value, silver or gold. The note today is something that the government declared that they will give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing their currency with silver or gold. This is the number one fault. It is very clear that the loss of the power of this American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound back from our nose? We do not know. What should we expect even in the next 12 months under the fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% deflation. What could happen on 100% deflation? The guess is as good as mine. The power of gold and silver was once bounded in America, but the touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation has now caused the crumbling and fall of America.